by Gloria Romero, Prop 47, prison drop. Kept her mouth shut. Now she's Trump for half a minute. Steve Hilton, dirty money, coming right from Soledad, Ursua. Snags a job for HUD. Is that $400,000, $500,000, or $600,000 a year? Felicia Adams Kellin has $600,000 a year, including benefits. The woman who evicted me. Soledad Ursua has known, and in her own words, in her own investigation, in her own hard copy, documented letter to me and several people on the Venice Neighborhood Council, talked about Horizon Apartments LLC, that felon Carl Lambert, Crack House, Jack V. Hoffman, BLM, Becky Dennison, Community Corporation of Santa Monica, spreading like a parasitic demon all through Santa Monica. Linda Lux, president of Venice Neighborhood Council, in METH Mike Bonin Circle, that's Loyola Marymount, that graduated TRACI Park, and a good number of her staff. Julie DeRose, Loyola Marymount, Jew hate, St. Joseph Center covering up sexual assaults, just like the government organization, that's the Venice Neighborhood Council. These courageous assaulted, including a Jewish, courageously reporting through the protocol. Gary Stewart, Rhino Records, my dear friend of 36 years before his right opposite Santa Monica. DEI Judge Bobbi Tillmon, MON. Vagina, Black Vagina, and a bunch of other people that these white puppet masters control, you know, they didn't miss that swastika. Just like they didn't miss the SPARC, Becky Dennison, BLMLA, Jew hate, violent mural right in front of the new Rainbow Reset Police by the dozens. Everyone could see it. Of course, all the international tourists. There's no flag on the TRACI Park CD11 flagpole, no American flag. I have to watch 40, 50 DEI fat, expunged felons, goobers from Chrysalis, like this schmuck in this brown shirt. 3 concussions, age 74, malnutrition. Your junior high school student could do a research, find out the life expectancy, what's been stolen from me, and I'm one of the lucky ones. I wasn't stabbed like LaFoy. You'll do the public research, a very small minority of you, and find out it's all controlled by one pimp. The Hollywood Pride paper, Yo Venice, Venice Current, Westside Current, Valley Current, Current Media, all off Minnesota activist Jamie Page, the Venice Neighborhood Council, TRACI Park's PR person. All of a sudden, she has a media company. No one else could get to METH Mike Bonin, the most despised groom rat pervert, Loyola Marymount. She got the full interview. There she is, and we'll show you at a TRACI Park booth. George Gascon decided to put little starter marijuana plants for children. They can't get children on drugs fast enough. I mean, you made the rec laws, and the growers who had to hire the dogs and the security and the water. There's my crows. I gotta go. You know, the same family of crows for 5 years here, and they know me. They're very intelligent. Science says they're as intelligent as an 8-year-old. They recognize individuals, and so do I after a while. Yeah, I got something for you. I've watched their whole life cycle. I've watched how tremendous they are, how protective, what aviators they are. They have funerals. When I rescued a pigeon from a hawk here and there were feathers all over the place as it fell off, they came like detectives, like the detectives don't come to the Surfside cocaine cartel laundromat. Evan Spiegel Snapchat family, Soledad, Ursua, HUD. I mean, if you're not going to vet your people, Bill Aisley and Scott Turner, if you're not going to vet who you give more millions to, The street MAGA since 2017. Been attacked so many times. I'm petrified to go to an emergency room, and I really need it. Because a senior shouldn't have a wellness visit with some goober political schmuck DO that you can't choose. A lot of people, Steve Hilton is the new Gavin Newsom, only he's got greasy bald dome instead of greasy hair. Gloria Romero, dirty Prop 47 money. These chicks kept their mouth shut with full knowledge of what was going on here. So that Ursua told the Venice Neighborhood Council, reporting tenants are arrested, they're drugged, they're evicted for standing up in their community. And then she shut her mouth for the big money. She came here with Snapchat, disappearing app. Research that too, or have your junior high school student do so. You vicious, anti-Semitic, Jew hate. And it's not just Jews. LaFoy's not Jewish. Susan, who got sexually assaulted, is not Jewish. The Catholic woman I was in love with and the little boy that I raised back east and here, year after year after year, were not Jewish. Since those terrorist attacks, I know I'm Jewish because they would have killed my Catholic cousins and my aunt. And German soldiers also that had mixed blood in their histories. So there's a lot of typhus experiments in those camps. Have your junior high school student research that. The Cree superbug infections from UCLA in 2014. If you're voiceless and vulnerable and on a HMO, UCLA Med will intentionally inject you 2 years later with an established known problem in their gastroenterology department. And then they'll keep on giving you that same sulfur drug that had you erupt in blood, pus, open sores, admit you and have a dozen students come in and out of your hospital room until you just sign out under political pressure. Steve Hilton, he wants to helm the drug. He's really sensitive. He's as sensitive as Meth Mike Bonin. I don't care about the homeless. I don't care about military-age working people who don't want to work. I don't care what kind of bullshit trauma and emotional problems they might have. My father had a lot of abuses as a child in Nazi Poland. He still fought World War II and worked 40 years on his feet in a factory with a power tool in his hand. They're poor Jews too. And Rick Caruso, when he was running, said 1/3 of the homeless aren't drug addicts or alcoholics. They just might be merit-based, hard-working, good citizens. Now, St. Joseph Center, Village Adams Kellum, Judge Carter's court, that fraud, we reported it 8 years ago. She evicted me. She sent Bobbi Maddox, psychosexually whacked, violent, right to my last apartment on earth. I have to worry about your opinion of me. You hid out. You got free money. You wore a mask. I was out in all of it, 24/7. Because I've got a history as a reporter and magazine journalist and Rhino Records director of press in the 80s. Gary Stewart was my dear friend of 36 years. He tried to secure those sexually assaulted women, and they went through terror that you can't even imagine because they reported. If you see something, say something, and get killed. The Steve Hilton for governor story. Gloria Romero, dirty money. Late to the party, Trojan horses. That's spelled WHORSES. When it's Tracy Park, Meth Mike Bonin. Baby gay events here. Butchery drug your children, bankrupt hospitals, taken out of town when I finally collapsed, unconscious, bleeding from my head, all this smoke. taken out of town and abused, exactly as Soledad Ursua said, and it wasn't the first time. They attack your brain on purpose. And Dr. Joseph, Josef, and Dr. Peter Bregan, and others are going to tell you about this drug-pushing UCLA, Luskin, all the people in the lease partner service provider hustle. West Side Coalition, that's where this chrysalis brown shirt comes. Expunged felons. It's violence right around the corner where you saw that swastika. Chrysalis, Santa Monica Coalition, West Side Coalition. Coordinated barrages of weaponized social media. They make up NGO nonprofits every day because that's the hustle. That's the hustle Gloria, Romero, and Soledad Ursua knowingly sat upon as people were killed and as the anti-Semitic hate crime rise, something in the hundreds. I've heard 300%. Crack House Jack V. Hoffman, Market Street, the agent for Horizon Apartments, Carl Felon Lambert, Loyola Marymount donor class, Loyola Marymount Julie D. Rose, St. Joseph's. Also step up on second, the People's Concern, Ocean Park Community Center. Because it's a hustle. And because the same vapid, she got a degree in art therapy. There's a new DEI bozo at St. Joseph's now that Felicia Adams Kellum left, and an interim bozo. All perfectly black, all perfectly dumb, all perfectly cowards. There's Crack House Jack V. Hoffman, who did all these illegal rehabs during the lockdown, especially Felon Carl Lambert building. Toxic mold. Venice V Hotel is sinking. Horizon Apartments LLC is buckling. They care about community safety. This building's been up for almost 2 years. It can't pass inspection because of structural problems. Should be yellow tag, red tag. So should the Venice V Hotel. As Tracy Park pimps the Garcetti Olympics, which is why she was installed. Fran Rape Solomon sits on the Venice Neighborhood Council. West Hollywood Pride Paper. Linda Lux, Meth Mike Bonin. The hotel walking tours, $400 or $500 a pop. And tell people Jim Morrison might have farted here once. I'm the most viewed independent rock and roll singer-songwriter in Venice history, and I have to finance my own projects. Hello, Lan. Record in Nashville. The vocals here, I had to rewrite stuff. The characters are talking about this shit. 700,000 views on one channel, 350,000 on Venice Community Housing, channel named after Venice Community Housing Corporation, in a vain attempt. They got me attacked again and again and again and again. Steve Hilton. Who are the case managers? Who are the service providers for all the services you want to give the poor drug addicts?